My favorite way of generating passive income, in fact, the thing that has generated the most income for me since 2008, is actually something called...
So for those of you that don't know who Pat Flynn is, let's kind of dive into a little background about Pat. Pat Flynn's story starts in 2008 when he was laid off from his dream job as an architect. This was a blessing in disguise, as he went on to become one of the most successful entrepreneurs worldwide. Pat has built several successful online businesses and generated millions in passive income. Impacting millions with the Smart Passive Income podcast, this podcast has been featured in the New York Times and has amassed over 60 million downloads. A lot of millions here. Pat, thank you so much for being on CEO Sphere's 2 Minutes, One Question podcast. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. Happy to help and excited to serve.
Likewise.
All right, Pat. So the one question that's been selected by our audience is, you're clearly an expert of the highest level in passive income. And I feel like the major benefit for our audience would be, hey, what's the easiest way to start generating passive income?
Great question. Now, I do have to tell you that passive income is not easy. It's not a thing that you can just create overnight. And in fact, a lot of what can lead you to passive income has to first start active. You have to actively serve audiences. You have to actively build something that could then be put on autopilot. You can't put nothing on autopilot. So you got to build something, and it takes some time. So it's not a get rich quick thing. Passive income is the end goal, whether that means you hire people to take care of some of the stuff that you needed to do initially, or you find software. And it may sound complicated, but it's actually a lot simpler than you believe. My favorite way of generating passive income, in fact, the thing that has generated the most income for me since 2008, is actually something called affiliate marketing. And this means the ability for you to generate a commission by recommending or promoting somebody else's product. So you're already saving time because you don't have to create the product. Those products already exist. And your service to your audience is helping them filter all the noise out there and going, no, you have this problem. Well, I found a solution. Here it is. Doesn't have to be owned by you to still be able to make money from it. You work out a deal or get commission from that partner that you're working with. And my favorite way to do that is to create content, and create content that is actually helpful, that supports the use of and the purchase of that product. For example, you might create a YouTube video. And a YouTube video, if you get the keywords right and it's a really good video that gets people engaged and understanding, okay, that's a great product. I could see how it could save me time. It's definitely worth my money. They click on a link in that video or in the description, and then you make money. And the cool thing is you've already created that video up front. Remember, take some work up front, but they've already seen that video. They're clicking on it. You're earning a commission. You can literally be sleeping. People can come across your video from all over the world. They can click on that link, and the company's going to pay you when they see that you sent over a customer. And you can build a library or a bank of all of these different videos or blog posts or even podcast episodes that support the use of that product. And once they're out there, they're kind of working for you. I almost see it as like planting seeds. Here's a seed I'm going to plant. Here's a seed I'm going to plant. Here's a seed I'm going to plant. And when you plant a seed, it doesn't take off right away unless it's the giant beanstalk from that fairy tale. But you plant the seeds. The more you plant, the more you could reap those rewards over time.
Awesome. Well, that was tremendous, right? People know, I feel like, about the basics of affiliate marketing, but I feel like they don't know how effective it can be. And I love the summary that you've made, because it clearly is such a powerful and easy way to kind of benefit with the helping other people. Because, hey, if you're recommending a product, it's because you're using it and it's clearly working for you. And then why not for people to make their life easier too? Thank you, Pat Flynn. For everyone who is listening to us, please go check out Pat Flynn on his website, patflynn.com, on Instagram. And you really do not want to miss his podcast, right? The Smart Passive Income podcast. Thank you once again, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Wasn't that absolutely tremendous? From the king of passive income himself, Pat Flynn. What do you think, Robbie?
I honestly thought that it was absolutely amazing. And I think there are some huge takeaways that we can jump into, but what are your initial thoughts, Alek?
The first thing that Pat mentioned, I believe is super important, is that, hey, this is a long-term game, whether you want it or not. I feel like that applies not only to building passive income, but it also applies to actually building your sales and actually building your business. And it's super important because we often hear of the importance of, hey, focusing on the moment and focusing on, building up, but building up also takes time. No one built a castle in a day. So that was my first and kind of like the key takeaway from this episode that I had.
Yeah, I love that. And I love what you said in terms of like, it takes time to build passive income. It takes time to build your brand, and it takes time to obviously increase your sales. Obviously, that time very well into like income. For me, one of the huge takeaways was like to start creating content around the affiliate marketing that you're doing. And this pretty much like ties together with your personal brand, because as you create content, you're forming a relationship with your audience. You're telling them this is something that they need, and you would be positioning yourself as someone that they can trust. So by creating that content, you're building a name for yourself. Your brand needs to ring true if you're ever going to persuade people to decide to take up this opportunity that you've like decided to partner up with on affiliate marketing. So I think that this is super, super important. If you're going to get into affiliate marketing, your branding should be on point. It should be powerful.
I love that. I love that because let me tell you, persuasion is the absolute king of the game for me, right? Because if you're able to actually persuade and influence other people's decisions, not only your brand will go up, right? Because you're basically able to move the masses, but also you will increase your sales through affiliate marketing, right? Passive income, through building your audience on different channels, whether that's YouTube, whether that is a podcast platform, whether that is Instagram. You will be able to actually show people that, hey, what they have here is cool, and that is why you should actually take action and be part of it. And that's very powerful. That's very powerful. Persuasion is extremely powerful. So that's a great point that you touched. And another little point that Pat Flynn left so many golden nuggets. And if you don't know who Pat Flynn is, you gotta check him out, right? Like, that is the king of passive income. And hey, patflynn.com, Pat Flynn on Instagram, he posts tremendous content for you to see. So go check him out, because hey, in this episode alone, he left so many golden nuggets. And the other one that I want to pick up your mind on is when he mentioned about how easy later down the line it can be, right? Affiliate marketing becomes almost a huge bonus for you. So what's your thought on that?
I love it. I guess as time goes on, so long as you put the systems in place, and this is something that he mentioned, like getting the systems in place to actually automate the process, because obviously getting those affiliate marketing deals and then having to actually like market the product, if you're constantly posting content for every new affiliate marketing deal that comes out, like in the early days, that's what you want to do, but you almost want it to tick in the background after like 2 years. You've created all the content, right? But still to this day it's generating, and that's why like people take to platforms such as YouTube, because the lifespan is like limitless. Like it goes on forever. It never dies. So you put something on YouTube and it's always there. People like search it, they will find it, and then they buy it and you earn a commission. So I think having the right systems in place, having the right platforms in place to get your passive income to work for you, not you work for it.
Yeah, and that is such a powerful thought that you just mentioned right there. So thank you for that. And the other thing is use keywords, right? Like keywords, because you mentioned the lifespan is so long on YouTube. So, hey, use the right keywords and you will be able to actually manage to get people back on it years after, right? Years down the line. If that video pops up and it goes even more and more popular, you'll be able to continuously generate that income without actually working. And that's passive income, right? That's passive income right there. And generating money without actually moving a finger. And I will remember, shout out to Bradley. He said in one of his episodes on his podcast, Dropping Bombs, a tremendous podcast, right? He mentioned how rich you are does not depend on the money that you have in the bank, but on the amount of passive income that you generate every single month. The money that you generate when you're not moving from your couch, right? So that was a tremendous thought, and I just needed to highlight it right there. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. That is when you're actually, honestly, rich.
Yeah, I love that. So to kind of wrap up this talk and kind of condense it into a really powerful takeaway, from me, I would say that, guys, if you want to earn effective passive income, take your time, put in the work, build that brand, and then you get that passive income. A strong brand is going to have a strong passive income.
And follow Pat Flynn. That's the extra. That's the missing factor. You can do all the rest, but if you're not following Pat Flynn and you're not educating yourself, that is when you're gonna fail, right? So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you once again to Pat Flynn, and thank you to you, Robbie. This was a tremendous episode in CEO Sphere. 2 minutes, one question podcast, and see you later.
See you all later. Thank you so much, Alek, and thank you once again to the audience for tuning into this.